N4GYY, standing by for the net. Good morning, Frank. N4GYY, WA6LJS. Good signal.
N4GYY, K2SJP. 20 over 9 in Tampa, Frank.
WA6.
Now you're good 10 over 9, Bob. Good morning, K1BOB, WA6LJS.
Thanks, John. Yeah, it was real high to SWR. I don't know what it was.
Oh yeah, you're doing solid here right now. Good solid 10 over and clear audio. Very good. I'll be standing by.
WA6LJS, W5ABI, 10 over, John.
Al, you're 20 over, Joe. Good morning. Yeah, but the band is very nice this morning. Bob out in Florida was real solid. Bob, the commander was solid, and you're 20 over. You're the strongest so far, Joe. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I wasn't copying Bob real well, but I got my beam pointed due east, so I'm probably picking you up on the back of it.
Roger, Roger. I'll be standing by. I'm going to get some SDRs on here. WA6LJS standing by for the Air Force Brians Net beginning at the top of the hour.
W5ABI standing by for net.
KB7LAK. Morning, Justin. KB7LAK, WA6LJS. You're about 10 over. Pipeline here. Yeah, that's for sure. That time, that last transfer transmission, you came up to 20 over. You're booming in.
Yeah, you're at 20 over as well. That's funny. Anyway, just sitting here planning a vacation. I finally convinced the wife to take it. We're going to Miami.
Oh boy, that'll be fun. Maybe you can stop by and see SJP.
Is he in Tampa? Yeah, I thought about flying into Tampa, but then the drive to Miami. There's a direct overnight red-eye flight from Salt Lake City to Miami. It's pretty cheap.
Yeah. No, I don't think he's near Tampa. He's in Lutz, Florida, and I'm not sure exactly how close that is to Tampa. Bob, are you copying?
Lutz is right near Tampa. John, good morning, W5OG, and good morning, Justin.
Yeah, good morning, Dale.
Yeah, pretty good. We're back home, both of us. I think that's great.
That's good. You got the boss home. All right. Well, make the plans for August. You're going up this year. That'll be fun. We can head back to London.
Well, it's a bit early to finalize something like that, but we're sure working in that as a goal for sure. We hope to make another trip to Rapid City. That'd be great. Anyway, hope that works out there, Justin. And I'm going to be a short timer this morning if Lee is listening. I don't have the SEO. W5OG, stand by for the net.
Okay, no problem, Dale. I like to have something to plan, something to look forward to. I find that it's been a roller coaster. We got Elon Musk. He can do what he a lot of really unhappy people at work right now, and it's like, well, hopefully they stick around. A lot more work and a lot less people. But that's all right. Sometimes that's how it goes. All right, standing by for that. KB7 LAK.
W5OG, W5ABI. Good signal this morning, Dale. Yeah, back home here, Joe. Good. You have a good signal also. W5OG. I hope your wife's doing fine. W5OG, W5ABI, standing by for that. Well, they kicked us out of the hospital, so I take that as a good sign. Although that hospital was so full, they wanted her bed. So that gave them extra incentive, which was fine by me. I didn't want to spend another night in that hospital, I'll tell you.
W5ABI, Kilo Zero Echo Delta Delta.
Oh, there's a K0 Echo Delta Delta, over.
I wanted to make a quick contact with you, if you don't mind. You are 5-9 into Missouri, QSL.
QSL, we're starting a net in about 7 minutes here, and you're welcome to join the Air Force's Flyers Club net here on 14290, over.
Roger that. I will join the net, and thank you for the contact.
Yeah, could you give me the call again slowly and phonetically, and your handle?
Kilo Zero Echo Delta Delta. That's K0EDD. That's Jerry in Missouri.
Okay, K0 Echo Delta Delta W5ABI. 5 minutes W5ABI.
All right, I appreciate the contact.
ABI. Did you get that call, Lee, over?
Come back on that.
I was calling the net logger here, old man. N5 Bravo Echo W5ABI. Do you copy?
W5ABI N5B. Good morning. Yeah, I've got him. Number 12 on the list. Jerry. Kilo Zero Echo Delta Delta. I got him.
Okay, thanks, Lee. N5BE W5ABI standing by for net.
W5OG, K1BOB.
Yeah, I hear you in there, Bob. K1BOB, W5OG. You're pretty light.
Yeah, I'm on a tertiary antenna. Good on Carolyn being home. I'll use your radio today. You know I was already listening on it, so if you don't mind, I'll use your flex so more people can hear me.
Yeah, fine, Bob. No worries. I'm going to be in here just for a few minutes. I've got a lot to do. I've been away for 4 days, and I got to catch up on some things. So I'm busy as a little beaver here this morning. So yeah, you're welcome to it.
Roger, Roger. Thanks again, Dale.
W5OG, K2SJP. Good morning, Dale.
Morning, Bob. Good signal. They were asking about you earlier, but Luke is definitely near Tampa. That's what they were curious about. So we straightened that out there. Everything going all right? Your flex working good?
Yeah, I'm here in Luke, and the flex is working directly, but of course not through the Smart Link, so we got to wait for them to come on Monday.
Yeah, that'll be great, and glad that you'll get it all fixed up. And you know, it's always it's worrisome when there's something that's not working, and you know that it should be, and you can't figure out exactly why. So you'll get that all resolved on Monday. Good deal. W5OG.
Okay, Dale. Good deal, and glad Carolyn is doing better. K2SJP, standing by.
K2SJP, W5PIH. Good morning, Bob.
You guys doubled. I didn't get that. Come back again.
W5ABI. You're 15 over in New Mexico, Bob.
Oh, okay, Joe. W5ABI, K2SJP. You're better 5 and 9, little over 5 and 9 right now.
Oh, okay. Must be one-way propagation. So K2SJP, W5.
Good morning, Bob. W5PIX.
W5PIX. I guess you're mobile. You're blasting in here, Clifford. K2SJP.
No, I ain't mobile. I'm on the base. I got the beam pointed towards you.
Oh, you're doing real good. 5 and 9 plus 20 dB.
Hey, Roger's on that. Well, we got a bunch of stations just a little off frequency there, so now hopefully we can have our net there with Brian. But anyways, yeah, we're barefoot, but we got the 3 elements beam pointed towards you there. But anyways, we're going to stand by. I heard you talking to Dale, but I'll bring up an SDR here so I can listen into some of the other stations there. So we need to get busy, and our young James should be on the road right now there, over.
Yep, James is on the road. He's on here listening to us, receive only, and I'll be talking to him on Echolink and following him on that APRS, I think we call it. Got to get off of here. Brian's going to come on here momentarily. K2SJP, standing by for the Air Force's Flyers Club Net.
Roger that. Well, we're bringing up the SDRs now there, so we'll be standing by.
WB5DRI Brians Net.
Antennas over to the ground plane there. So anyways, Brian, it's all yours if you need the frequency.
Yeah, K1BOB, WB5DRI. Yeah, good morning, everybody.
B's calling you, Brian, over.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that, Bob. What was you asking? Good morning, everybody. This is Whiskey Bravo 5, Delta Romeo, India. I will be net control this morning for the Air Force's Flyers Club net. I want to welcome everybody to our net this morning. We meet on this frequency, 14.290, every day of the year normally starting up about this time, about 10 o'clock Central Time. The Flyers Club consists of military aviation members, both active and retired, and veterans of all the military services, to include pilots, air crew, ground crew, air traffic controllers, missile crews, support crews, and anyone involved with military aviation from all of the air branches of all of our military services. We also very much like to welcome visitors to the net, and you don't need to be involved with the military or aviation in order to check in. Our purpose is to promote fellowship between those radio amateurs who devote a portion of their lives to support our air forces. This is a control net. To contact net control, use the words contact, relay, check-in, or info. We also have a very good website at Air Forces plural, Flyers plural, club.org. That's Air Forces Flyers Club.org, which has a lot of good information about our net, about our members, and also an online application. If you would like to join the group, again, that's not necessary in order to check in. Again, my call sign is Whiskey Bravo 5 Delta Romeo India. My name is Brian, and I'm located down here in San Antonio, Texas, in the Alamo City in South Central Texas. Our format for this net is we take check-ins and we go down the list, allowing each station to give their reports, and then we go back for a second 73 round if there's time. Usually on Saturdays we have a little bit more time for the net. At this time, I do have the following stations off of NetLogger this morning that I think is being run by N5BE Lee up in Arlington, Texas. I want to thank him for that. But the first on the list this morning, I have K0ZNC, Don, up in Longmont, Colorado. Good morning to you, Don. And I guess, I'm not sure who will be bringing you in. Probably be W5OG or K1BOB. I'm not sure, but we'll get to that. But good morning, and also, next on the list is W5OG, my older brother Dale, up in East Texas. And Dale, sure glad to have you and Carolyn back home there. And I hope she's doing very, very well this morning. I know it's great to be out of the hospital there. Our prayers for you guys that she'll continue to recover completely from what she had there. So, good morning, and next on the list I do have N5BE, as I mentioned, Lee, and then I have KF7GJO, Carl, out in Sparks, Nevada. Good morning to both you guys. Then I have Chris, KS5KY, in Kentucky. Good morning, Chris. Then I have K2SJP, Bob, down in Lutz, Florida. Good morning to you, Bob. Big signal this morning with me. I heard you here before the net. And also the same for John, WA6LJS, out in Hamul, California. Good morning, John. Then I have N4GYY, Frank, and also in Kentucky, in Louisville. Good morning to you, Frank. Then I have our commander, K1BOB, Bob, up in Boise, Idaho. Good morning, Bob. Then I have Joe, W5ABI, out in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Good morning to you, Joe. Then I have K4YDB, Charlie, out in Cartersville, Georgia. Good morning, Charlie. And thanks for the live stream that you do there on YouTube. Charlie has that for us every day, and it's a great help. And there's also the questions of the day out there that we'll get to here in a moment, a few moments. Then I have a visitor there, Jerry. Welcome to the net, Jerry, from Missouri. That's K0 Echo Delta Delta. And then I have, KB7LAK, Justin out in Utah. Good morning to you, Justin. Then I have Ray, WB5DRI New Jersey. Good morning to you, Ray. Then I have King Queen 6 Echo Mike out in Anthem, Arizona. Good morning to you, Mike, and welcome back to the net. This is the first time I've heard you in a while, but I know you have been on the net in the last few days, but I haven't been on every day. But good to have you with us this morning. And I have our itinerant truck driver, my neighbor to the north here, WB5DRI Cliff, and he's at home today in Bulverde. So good morning to you, Cliff. Let's see, then I have, I forgot to mention KG5PTE is receive only, and I think he's probably east of Houston or very close to Houston. He's on his way to Florida. He's listening this morning to the net. So good to have you out there listening this morning, James. Then there's another receive-only station. It looks like Ken in Arizona, Alpha Echo 7 Sierra X-Ray. So good to have you out there listening as well this morning, Ken. Then I have King Queen 4 Hotel Juliet November. That's Steve down in Florida. Good morning to you, Steve. Then I have, looks like another one of our members, W7 Papa Golf Whiskey, Pete up in Idaho. Good to have you with us this morning, Pete. Good morning to you. Then I have Kilo 2 Bravo Delta Echo. It looks like Brian in North Carolina is another visitor. So good to have you with us as well this morning, Brian. Let me get a call out from the West Coast. John, WA6LJS, could you put out a call for us, please, sir?
Wilco, this WA6LJS relaying for net control for the Saturday morning Air Force Flyers Net. We're looking for check-ins, either members or visitors. Call now. I heard a Kilo Foxtrot 4, but I missed the last part. What's the rest of your call coming in? Delta Echo Whiskey, Kilo Foxtrot 4, Delta Echo Whiskey. Is that correct? Roger. Well, welcome to the net. We'll get you on the list there. Our net logger will get you on there. Any other check-in?
P9 EMP, kilowatt number 9, Echo Mike Bravo.
Well, I'm hearing something, but I didn't make it. Brian, did you hear the other one?
He's all light. The other station, go ahead. What was your call sign? Can you come back again?
Kilowatt number 9, Echo Mike Bravo, K9 EMP.
Okay, I think I got it. Kilo 9 Echo Mike Bravo. Can I get your name and location?
The first name is Greg, G-R-E-G, and I'm in Inverness, Florida, just north of Tampa. K9 Echo Mike Bravo, Greg, G-R-E-G.
Okay, Greg, very fine. Well, good to have you with us there, Greg, from north of Tampa, I think you said. So we'll get you in there just shortly there, Greg. Good to have you with us there. Let's see. The other station, I copied the Kilo Foxtrot 4 Delta Echo Whiskey, but I didn't get the name there. Can you come back with your name? Okay, Lonnie. Well, I got a good copy on you on the radio here this morning, so welcome to our net, and got you on the list. Let's see. Let's get a call out from the East Coast here. Bob, K2SJP, could you put out a call for us, please, sir?
Wilco, Brian, this is K2SJP. Relay for net control, calling any members or guests for the Air Force's Flyers Club Net. Please call now. I thought I'm hearing somebody very, very faint. I can't make them out. Anybody able to make that station out? It may have just been some DX on the frequency. Nobody else, Brian.
Okay, thank you very much, Bob. Appreciate it. Let me go ahead and give the questions this morning. I thought it would be fun to have talk about the Korean War. I've been reading a book about a pilot that was active in the Korean War that also flew the U-2 later on, and then the SR-71. But anyway, these are some aircraft from the Korean War, and also some aces from the Korean War. So the first question is, what Air Force fighter aircraft shot down the most enemy fighters in the Korean War? This may be a softball question. I think we've talked about these things before, but thought it might generate some fun discussion. And the second question, well, I guess you better give the answers first, but the first answer is Alpha. The possible answer is Alpha, the Lockheed F-80 Shooting Star. Lockheed F-80 Shooting Star for Alpha. Bravo, the North American F-82 Twin Mustang. Bravo, the North American F-82 Twin Mustang. Charlie, the Republic F-84 Thunderjet. Charlie, the Republic F-84 Thunderjet. Delta, the North American F-86 Saberjet. So those are the aircraft. All these aircraft, I think, were used in the Korean War, but one of these aircraft shot down the most enemy fighters in the war. And the second question is, who is the greatest U.S. ace of the Korean War? All these gentlemen were aces in the Korean War, but one of them shot down the most aircraft, and a couple of them were triple aces. So this may be too easy, but the first answer is, possible answer is Alpha, Major James Robinson Risner. Major James Robinson Risner for Alpha. Bravo is First Lieutenant James F. Lowe. Bravo is First Lieutenant James F. Lowe. Charlie is Major James Jabara. Charlie is Major James Jabara. Delta is Captain Joseph C. McConnell Jr. Delta is Captain Joseph C. McConnell Jr. And the correct answers are a matched pair. So if you get the first answer correct, you'll have the second answer correct for the two questions. So Alpha, Alpha, Bravo, Bravo, and so forth. Okay, another hint is I've seen this gentleman's picture on Charlie's live stream before, and he was also a navigator on a B-24 Liberator during World War II. He had flown in World War II as well, but then later became a pilot and flew in the Korean War. So those are the hints. Let's go ahead and get started. First up would be Don, KZoo ZNC. Good morning, Don. You're up, sir. And I'm not sure who's going to bring you in here, but someone will. WB5DRI.
Go ahead, Bob. I can't get Echo Link to work. Bring him in on my radio if you want. K1BOB W5OG.
Okay, copy that, Dale. This is K1BOB running remote through W5OG, and let's bring in Don. K0ZNC. Don, you're up for the net.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. I think K1BOB is doing a powerful pass for it. Thank you, Bob. Dale, I could hear you in. That's not on initially. So your phone's doing well. And enjoying the unit in that regard. Gosh, I don't know. Put me down for Delta on the question. Really nice. temperatures for that time of year. So I think we're going to get back to normal here, as I said, in another 2-3 days. So we'll enjoy the warm weather here. It's early springtime out there. Right now it's just really pleasant. Well, with that, we'll turn it back to you, Brian. Thank you for Anthony on HF. Thank you, Bob, for doing the simulcast. Give me a shout. I doubt that I will be here. I'll let somebody know if I get a phone call, but I'm pretty sure I will. With that, we'll turn it back to you, Brian. WB5DRI K1DOB K0
K1DOB remote W5OG, and thanks, Dale, and back to you, Brian. Okay, thank you very much, Bob and K0ZNC. Don, it's good to hear you this morning, and glad everything is going well for you up there in Longmont, and hope it's not too cold for you guys up there. But I got your answer there. It's Delta Delta. So Don's got us off and running this morning here, so very good. Next up would be my older brother Dale, W5OG up in Mineola, Texas. Good morning, Dale, to you and to Carolyn, and love to you guys. And sure am happy that you guys are that Carolyn is out of the hospital there and doing better and at home. You're up, sir. W5OG, WB5DRI. Good morning again.
Yeah, good morning, Brian, and good morning to everyone on the net, W5OG. Hold on. Turn that SDR down a bit. And, yeah, we are back home, and Carolyn's doing fine, and just really thankful for all the good wishes and your prayers and thoughts, and it is working because, she went from the ICU to being released to go home, and it all happened very fast. But they were intending to move her to another hospital room, and they couldn't find one. So the hospital was full, and that was good for us because there was enough incentive for her. I kept telling them she had a nice room there at home for her. She didn't have to stay in the blooming hospital. So they looked things over and said, yeah, she's doing so good that she could come home, and we were sure thankful about that. So anyway, yeah, Delta, I'm going to follow Don's lead there. I think he's on to something for sure. And 7-3 to everybody. We'll see you all later, maybe on the afternoon roundtable. And James, drive carefully there on your way down to Tampa and to go to Hamcation there next weekend. Everybody have a great day. Thank you, Brian, for doing the net, and thanks for all the great good wishes there. WB5DRI, W5OG, back to net.
Okay, Dale, W5OG, WB5DRI. Well, it sure is good to hear you guys from home there, Dale. I sure am happy that Carolyn is out. I know about hospital stays because we've had more than our share with Susie down here, and it sure is nice to be out of those places for sure. And I know the food is terrible as well in the hospital, so that's been anyway, it sure is good to hear you guys at home, Dale. And 73s and 88s, you guys have a great day there. And we'll talk to you the next time. And we got your answers as Delta Delta. I did notice a short timer on the net logger here. Let me see if Pete W7PGW is actually a short timer. I think he may be. Let me go ahead and take him next anyway, and to be sure and get him in there. And then if there's any other short timers, please let me know. Pete, W7PGW, you're up for the net. WB5DRI, good morning.
W7PGW, good morning, sir. Thanks for leading us again on this fine net, and good morning to all who's listening from up here in northern Idaho. I'm going to go just in line with Delta Delta Delta, and I'm going to spend a little time reading into this. I don't know much about the Korean wartime, but it always interests me. And thank you for challenging my thinking and some of the things entering the Marine Corps and retired in 2020 in the Air Force. So that's kind of what my father did, which I highly respect and admire the men and women who served back then. So I appreciate those trivia questions always. Nice cool morning up here. We got 70 inches of on the snowplow driving from the state of Idaho. So I was busy for 12 hours yesterday getting our highways clear up here in Idaho. Yeah, thanks for letting me dive in here. I've got a couple things to get going, but I always like to say hi to the listening audience and those folks who speak and tell us a little bit about themselves and how they're doing. So I appreciate it, and I want to keep it short. So I'm going to say something to you that you might be listening from Northern Idaho, and I'll send it back to WB5DRI.
Yeah, Pete, I got most of that. I had to get you tuned in on the FDR there, but I was hearing most of it and got the last part. And 73 to you. Good to have you with us this morning. I didn't get your answer to the questions, though. And I'm going to do a little trivia research myself just to read up on this topic. Thank you. W7PDW. Okay, real fine, Pete. Well, 73's got your answers as Delta Delta. Have a great day there up in Idaho, and we'll look for you the next time. Good to have you in there on the net this morning. Break with W7PDW. Let's keep it moving here. Next up actually would be, I believe, our net logger, since we don't have any other short timers this morning. N5BE. I know he'll have some comments about these aircraft. Lee, good morning. You're up, sir.
WB5DRI N5BE. Good morning, Brian. Good morning to everyone on the net today. Boy, I'm sure glad to hear about Dale and his wife. That's good stuff. Yes, Korea. When I arrived in Korea in early 69, two weird things happened. On that very moment that we landed, we all got lined up. Every one of us that was on that plane coming in were lined up and given double gamma goblin shots in each cheek, and then put you on the bumpiest bus ride you've ever had in your life. That was number one. Number two, there was an alert going on. I thought I had landed in the middle of a war movie. There were anti-aircraft sites being manned, people running around with rifles and helmets, and F-86s being launched. The Korean Air Force was flying F-86s and F-5As at the time, and I think these aircraft were out of Suwon. But anyway, I thought I landed right in the middle of a war movie, and then I thought I landed in the middle of a museum when I arrived at my duty station, because everything we had on the reservation was reciprocating engine powered. So, boy, talk about a flying museum. So anyway, enough of that. Yeah, I'm going with Delta. Who can forget that movie with Alan Ladd and oh gosh, what was her name now? America's Heartthrob back in the 40s and 50s. June Allison. Yeah. So I remember that movie well. So anyway, Delta, good question. Enjoying it. Brought back some memories. WB5DRI N5BE.
Okay, Lee, very good. N5BE, WB5DRI. Well, yes, your answers is Delta Delta, and I spent some time in Korea myself, Lee. A very interesting story on your part there. Yeah, I've had all those shots, including I'm sure the one you're talking about, the gamma globulin. but I spent a year at Osan, south of Seoul there, and that was a very good assignment for me. It was a remote, but it was probably one of the best jobs that I had in my career, actually. I really did well there and really enjoyed what I was doing, and it was just very close to the action, you might say, with Korea is definitely a war front all the time and has been for years since the Korean War. And anyway, I guess that's enough to say about that. But I will say that I have learned a lot about the Korean War from the research that I did for these questions. And I didn't realize that, well, I should have realized, but at the beginning of the war, I guess we really decimated the Air Force that the North Koreans did have, which wasn't very much, I guess. But they never were very, very good. And I guess they brought in the Chinese and the Soviets in the MiG-15s to match our better aircraft, and so the North Koreans themselves didn't have much of an air force. Anyway, is the point I was trying to make. But anyway, let me keep it moving here. Next up would be Carl, an air traffic controller from way back, and one of our members who's also a very noted author there. Good morning to you, Carl. KF7 GJO. You're up for the net, sir. WB5DRI.
Roger that, Brian. Boy, you make it hard to see the microphone. Batting me so hard to look on yeah, interesting tale about Korea there, Lee. What you forget to mention is the fact that you graduated from college over there. That university was just south of K7, Pyongyang. Okay, that's a joke. I've heard quite a few stories in my life after my dad came back from Korea. And his own observation planes, I guess L-19s and also helicopters over there. He was flying a fighter in Korea. But, yeah, interesting war. Now, the pilots, the quote North Korean, close quote, pilots, who knew what they were doing were, for the most part, Soviet pilots. They flew out of a base, I believe, don't hold me to this, but I believe it was Dongnam, China, which is right across the Yalu River. They had cue cards taped on their instrument panels so that they had the key radio transmissions written out in Korean so that they could speak Korean on the radios so we wouldn't figure out what was going on, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, yeah, a lot of interesting tales about Korea floating around out there. Okay, on to the question. So, Lockheed F-80 Shooting Star. That came up a couple of days ago, and if I recall, the only thing the F-80 was used for was reconnaissance over there. The North American Twin Mustang. I wonder how many people actually realize what that airplane was or have seen one. Be hard to get an argument with your co-pilot in that thing. It'd be awful hard to slap him across the side of the head if you didn't like what he was doing. Which brings us down to C and D. The 84 and the 86, both of which flew over there. And when I spin my multiple answer guesstimator here, I come up with answer number D, David, the North American F-86 Sabre. And
Captain Joe McConnell, Old Man McConnell's kid. So my answer would be D and D. Brian, great net this morning. I'll be with you to the end, buddy, just to find out how I did. So back to you. WB5DRI, KF7GJO.
Okay, Carl, KF7GJO, WB5DRI. Well, fine business on everything there, Carl. Good to hear you this morning, and we got your answers there as Delta Delta. Let's keep it moving here. Let's go out to Kentucky to Bowling Green, I think it is, to Chris out there, KS5KY. Good morning, Chris. You're up, sir. WB5DRI. Okay, real fine, Chris. KS5KY, WB5DRI. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that base up in Kansas there. Yeah, they have the KC, a lot of KC-46As there now, the Pegasus. And I've been to Wichita. It's funny, I was up there on business actually for the Air Force as a civilian a few years ago, but I didn't go over to the base there. I should have. I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't while I was there. But I know McConnell is right there in Wichita. So anyway, very good on everything, Chris. Got you down. Oh, you're about a 5'6", 5'7" with me, by the way. You're doing real well on the radio you're working on there this morning. So no problems at all. But good to hear you. And got your answer there, of course, is Delta Delta. Let's keep it moving here. Let's go down to Florida to Lutz. Or Lutz, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I guess it's pronounced both ways. To Bob down there, one of our members near Tampa. K2SJP. Bob, thanks for the help this morning. You're up, sir. WB5DRI.
WB5DRI. This is K2SJP. And I'll say good morning to all the flyers. Good morning to you, Brian. You're blasting in here into Lutz, Florida. Yeah, it's pronounced both ways. Some people say Lutz, some people say Lutz. I don't know, I say Lutz. I'm looking at James right now. I'm looking at his car on the 249 in Montgomery, Texas right now. So, James, it's working fine. Watching where you're going there. Drive safe. And we'll probably catch you over on Echo Lane. You'll probably come in on Echo Lane. So that's about the deal from this end. My answers are definitely the F-86 Saberjet. That would be Delta. And Joseph McConnell. That would be Delta. So my answers are Delta and Delta. And that's about it from this end. We just got to wait till Monday to get our smart link working. We were lucky to get somebody within our IP who's a ham operator and is doing that for me, getting rid of the CG net, which was the block in preventing me from operating remotely. So I'll probably be back on Monday or Tuesday. So back to you, Brian. Thanks for running the net, and we'll probably catch everybody on Echolink. We'll be here till the end. WB5DRI K2SJP.
Okay, Bob, K2SJP, WB5DRI. Well, you're solid 10 over 9 with me this morning, Bob. So very good, and hope you and James have a lot of fun down there, and the other guys down there that are going to be there at the Hamcation there coming up and down in I guess it's in Orlando there. So very good on all that, and we got your answer as Delta. So let's keep it moving here, and let's go out to Hamul, California. Thanks for your help this morning, John. You're up, sir. WA6LJS, WB5DRI.
Okay, WB5DRI, this is WA6LJS. Good morning to the net. Good conditions this morning out west. I haven't even needed the SDR again. I've got them on, but everybody seems to be coming in locally. It's currently 47 degrees, clear blue sky, plenty of sun, and we're predicting it's going to go up to 70 around noon today. So it's going to be a nice day on Saturday to go out and do some things. Answer to the question. Well, I know it's the F-86, so I'm going to put Delta for that. And I don't know for sure who the ace was, but I will, because they're matched pair, I'm going to go Delta also. So we'll be a DD like the rest of them. So we'll see what happens. Back to you, Brian, and you got a booming signal. Thanks for running things today. WB5DRI, WA6LJS.
Yeah, WA6LJS, WB5DRI. Well, you're moving in here as well. Solid S9, John. Good to hear you this morning from Hamul. And we got you down for Delta there. So let's keep it moving. Let's see. Next up would be, I think, Frank also in Kentucky, in Louisville, with a big signal. N4GYY. Good morning, Frank. You're up, sir. WB5DRI.
WB5DRI in the group, N4GYY. Well, good morning to all the flyers on the net this morning. It's a fine, lovely day in Louisville just right now. We're mostly sunny. It's 44 degrees. We're only supposed to get up to about 48, so that's not too bad. Compared to the last couple of days, we were warmer, but it was cloudy. I'll take the bright sunshine. It just makes you feel good all the way across the board. And then we're supposed to warm up and even a possibility of getting up to 70 later on this week, or later on next week, I should say. This is Saturday, not Sunday. Okay. And, of course, I think Dale has checked out, so I was going to say it's good to hear that Carolyn and him everything's at home and going in the positive direction. With that, I'm going to say my answers. I'm going to, as soon as I saw the question, I kind of picked out Delta right away with the F-86 Sabre jet. And with that being the fact that it's matched, I'm going to have to go Delta as well. I probably won't be here for the 73 round, but I will listen out for the answer to the question. So with that, I will turn it back to you, Dale. Good net. WB5DRI and the group, N4GYY 73.
Okay, Frank, N4GYY, WB5DRI. Well, good to have you with us this morning, Frank, from Louisville, and glad the temperatures are warming up for you there. They're actually warming up for us here in San Antonio as well. We're about 65 already, and we're going up to 75 today for the high. So we're really enjoying some nice winter weather down here right now. So anyway, got your answers there, Frank, as Delta. So let's keep it moving. Let's go to our commander up in Idaho there, in Boise. K1BOB, Bob, thanks for the help this morning, sir. You're up. WB5DRI. WB5T1BOB. Thanks, Brian. I am running remotely thanks to Dale's radio. And snowed all yesterday and did some plowing, and it snowed some more overnight, so it's pretty ugly outside. The normal dipole I've been running on, it goes through a high ponderosa pine. That ponderosa is just sagging in snow, and the SWR and that antenna went way up. So I'm on one that goes straight out to my tower. But I'm on Dale's now to get everybody. But I'm hearing very well. I'm hearing you on mine better than I can because you're close to Dale. Anyway, my answer to the question this morning will be, Delta. I'm sure it was the F-86. And we had an old guy in the F-111 community that flew in Vietnam, General Blessey. And he was at Nellis Air Force Base, and he also commanded the F-111s. He was the director of operations over in Vietnam, so I'd run into him a couple of times early on in my career. He died in 2012, I think. But the guy who had the most, and there are a lot of aces, an awful lot of aces, actually on both sides, I think, put me down for Delta on the second one. Since it's matched, I wasn't quite sure on that, so I guess it's McConnell. So thanks, Brian. Interesting question. And I don't know how Don, we lined up with Don again. Well done, Don. This is K1BOB, and thanking Charlie, Lee, and you for doing the net today, Brian. K1BOB, back to you.
Okay, Bob, K1BOB, WB5DRI. Well, I'm hearing you well, both on the radio and on the SDRs this morning, Bob. And I hope you get the snow off of your other antennas there and get everything back to where you're actually using your X-beam again. But I know that'll come around, and sorry to hear about all the extra snow that you have on the ground there. But I do understand this time of the year. But anyway, good to hear you this morning, Bob. And we got your answers there, so we'll keep it moving here. Let's go out to Las Cruces, New Mexico, to Joe, W5ABI. Good morning, Joe. You're up for the net. WB5DRI.
WB5DRI and the Flyers, W5ABI. Good morning, Brian. Good morning to the rest of the net. Thanks for running it. Kind of a partly cloudy day, but the sun's starting to peek through. We had a low of 27. Right now it's 38 and going up to 67. So another spring day. I think it's going to be here before we know it. Sorry about the snow up there in Idaho, Bob. Yeah, I lived through many winters in snow when we lived in Seattle all those years. So I know all about it. Hi. Anyhow, let me see. The answer to the question, I'm also going to go with Delta. We'll be here to the bottom. WB5, one comment. You were in the mud, Brian, when the net first started out, and then all of a sudden you jumped up to 15 over, and you've been there ever since. Anyhow, WB5DRI, W5ABI.
Okay, Joe, very fine. Well, you're solid over the 9 mark with me this morning, Joe. Your X-beam is doing a great job for you there. And I got your answers as Delta. So very good. And thanks for joining us this morning. And break with W5ABI. Let's go to first. I want to recognize the station that was in there and give him a 73. That's Kilo Zero Echo Delta Bill in Kentucky. I don't know if he still might be listening or not, but apparently he had to leave. And I'm sorry we didn't get him in there during this round, but he did check into the net earlier this morning. So we'll say 73 to Bill in Kentucky. And let's go to our live stream guy. Charlie, thanks for your live stream on YouTube. And if you type in Charlie's call sign K4YDB, our live stream will come up. And it also has the questions of the day on it. So we really appreciate all that Charlie does with that.
So over to you, Charlie. K4YDB. What's happening in Cartersville? WB5DRI. Okay, Charlie, very good. K4YDB, WB5DRI. Well, you're over the 9 mark, about 10 over with me this morning, Charlie. Good signal in San Antonio, and we got your answers there as Delta Delta. So let's keep it moving here. Let's see, next up, I believe, would be Justin out in Ogden, Utah, KB7LAK. Good morning, Justin. You're up, sir. WB5DRI.
Great signal today here in Utah. I didn't get the rain, the snow Bob got. I've got just a little bit of drizzly rain. I could sure use some snow here, but I didn't get a ski pass. So anyway, put me down for Delta Delta. James Robbie Reisner, who's letter Alpha, he was shot down in Vietnam, and if those North Koreans in Vietnam, like Vietnamese, all these time communists would talk to each other, they could have had Robbie Reisner liberated from Vietnam and put him on display in North Korea, but I'm glad they didn't. He was an incredible guy, and unfortunate that he got shot down. He got stood out for the war, and I think he was in the Hanoi Hilton. And anyway, so he was a great pilot. Let's see here. I'll just real quick memory riding my Harley down to Osan. I was up at Yongsan in Seoul, and I was riding down to Osan, and all of a sudden the pavement started changing. The road got really, really wide, and the stripes got all funky. And it turns out I was on that the Suwon airstrip. They would push rocks in front of the road and land airplanes on it, and then push them out of the way and use it as a road again. So it was really fascinating. So I had a experience riding my Harley down there. I love riding around in Seoul. A lot of fun mixing it up there. But anyway, put me down for Delta. I'll see you here to the bottom. And glad Carolyn and Dale are back home. That's outstanding. So we'll kick it back to you, Brian. Thanks for calling the net. Doing a great job. WB5DRI and the net, KB7LAK. Back to you, man.
Okay, Justin, very good. KB7LAK, WB5DRI. Well, I got you down for Delta Delta there, Justin, and I remember those roads over in Korea that the South Koreans have. They have a lot of highways like that where they can land their aircraft. They can close them off and land aircraft on them very easily. They do that. Well, they have that set up, of course, on purpose to support any kind of future wars or problems where they would need to use those and not be able to land at their normal airfields. So, interesting stuff. Anyway, good to hear you this morning, Justin, and stay on the warm side of the door out there in Utah, and we'll keep it moving here. Break with you. Let's go out to the East Coast now to Ray out in New Jersey. WB2JJO. Ray, good morning. You're up, sir. WB5DRI.
Good morning. WB5DRI from WB2JJO. Well, Brian, we have a beautiful day here in southern New Jersey. We're looking at 41 degrees and it's sunny, and we were able to get about a half an inch of rain last night, and I'll tell you what, it was a beautiful rain. No flooding or nothing. I call it a farmer's rain because it was nice and gentle. So with that there, I'm glad to be back on the net again. I got my station back online. My next big move is to put the X beam back up, but that's going to be a while. It's still a little too cold for that. But anyway, the dipole seems to be working out okay. I'm hearing you very well on my electric radio here, and of course on the SUF for sure. My answer is going to be Delta. I'm looking at the chart here, and I see everybody's got Delta. So that must be the answer. So that there, Brian, thank you for doing that. We appreciate it, and we'll get it back over to you. WB5DRI from WB5DRI.
Okay, Ray, WB2JJO, WB5DRI. Well, hearing you pretty well, Joe, mostly on the SDRs this morning, but I understand, and I do hope you get your X-beam working again, but I guess it's going to have to wait until it warms up a little bit more for you out there, and I do understand about that. So anyway, good to hear you this morning, Ray, and I'm going to put you down for Delta there. I didn't hear you give your answer, but I think that's what you would have given. So we'll put you down for that. And good to have you with us this morning, Ray. And I sure hope you get that antenna fixed soon, one of these days when it warms up some. But it's good to have you in there this morning anyway. Break with you. Let's go out to Arizona now to one of our Arizona stations this morning that we haven't talked to in a while. Mike out in Anthem, King Queen 6 Echo. Good morning, Mike. You're up for the net. WB5DRI. John, are you hearing WA6LJS? Are you hearing Mike?
No, I'm not hearing anything.
KQ6A, WB5DRI. Are you there, Mike?
Hey, Brian, I just caught it. He checked out of the aim window some time ago.
Okay, thank you, Lee. I didn't see that. Appreciate that. I'm sorry we missed Mike. If you're still listening out there, Mike, 73 to you. Have a great day there in Anthem, and we'll get you in here the next time. Sorry we missed you. Break with Mike. Let's go to my neighbor to the north here in Bulverde, Texas, just very close to me. W5PIX, Cliff, good morning, and regards to Miss Bonnie there. You're up, sir. WB5DRI.
Well, good morning there, Brian, and all the net WB5DRI, W5PIX here, and well, we're going to have to make it a short time ourselves there, but anyways, I'm going to go with the Lemming line of Delta. Might be an Air Force, but I do remember the F-86 as a very good North American aircraft because I used to work on the trainer before they went into the F-86, which was the T-28 Trojan there. So anyways, that was the trainer for the F-86 back in the day. Anyways, Brian, it's, well, you know what it's like. I'm out here in the shack. It's 72 degrees right now, and everybody have a very good day. And I have not worked on the amplifier today, so I got to get out there and get the motor home and a few other things. Run down, go get some feed and get some propane for the motor home and make sure it's all topped off there so we can do some cooking on the way. And our trip, and we'll be leaving out of here either Monday evening or Tuesday. All depends on how long it takes, but we're looking maybe try to leave out on Monday and give us a little bit of a head start. I am going to be doing some local delivery there first. In fact, I got to leave out tomorrow, and we'll come back and do our local delivery. Told them we'll do that, and then we're going to take time off. So, Brian, good net, good question.
everybody have a good one. Of course, Dale and Miss Carolyn know we're all happy they're home, and we found that out yesterday evening on the 5 o'clock round table. So some of you folks need to join us on the round table, keep up with what's going on. Anyways, 7-3's back to you, Brian. WB5DRI. This is W5PIX out here in Bulverde, Texas, on the Barefoot Big One. Catch you later, Brian. Over to you. Okay, Cliff, very good. W5PIX, WB5DRI. Well, good to hear you, Cliff. And yeah, I did turn on the AFFC conference node yesterday on Echolink at about 5 o'clock, but there was nobody there, so I left. But I guess I didn't stick around long enough. But anyway, good to hear you this morning, Cliff. And we got your answers there, and I know you guys are getting ready for your trip also down to Florida there, so very good on that. And I guess you have to get out of there. You can't stick around, I believe, from what you said, so I'll give you 73s there. And till the next time there, Cliff. Have a great day, and let's keep it moving here, because we still have quite a few more stations to get in here this morning. Let's go to Steve out in California, San Diego, our tailhook Navy guy, K6PX, WB5DRI. Good morning, Steve. Okay, Steve, I think you turned it there. You're a little light with me this morning, but good to have you in there with us. I did hear your transmission there, K6PX, WB5DRI, and I got your answers there. I'm going to put you down for Delta Delta, because I missed exactly what you said for an answer, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But have a great day there in San Diego, Steve, and good to have you in there with us. Break with K6PX. Let's go to, let's see who's next up on the list here. It's another Steve, actually out in Florida. That's King Queen 4, Hotel Juliet November, KQ4 HJN. Good morning, Steve. You're up for the net, WB5DRI.
Good morning, Brian and all the flyers. I'm going to go along with Delta Delta, and yes, I'm watching James. His APRS is working, and just outside of Houston there. We'll keep this short, so I think I'm going to say 73 because I got a bunch of things to do, so I'm going to be out of here, but Delta Delta, and back to you, Brian.
Okay, Steve. Well, you're coming in well on my radio there, Steve. So good to hear you from down in Florida, and we got your answers as Delta Delta, and James has got his APRS working there, so anybody can follow his progress there, and we hope that he drives safe there on his trip down there to Florida to be with you, Steve, and also with Bob, K2SJP, and also with, I think, Larry, KB0LTT at the Hamcation. So very good on all that. And 73s to you, Steve, if you got to get out of here. I understand. Break with you. Let's go to, let's see who's up next. Looks like it would be, we've got KF4, Delta Echo Whiskey. That's a visitor this morning over in Tennessee. That's Ron, I believe. I hope I have your name correct here. KF4, Delta Echo Whiskey. You're up for the net, sir. WB5DRI.
Anyway, I just heard y'all on the band singing out okay. Charted Brian, Delta was his answer.
Yeah, I thought he had. Thank you, Lee. Well, thank you, Ronnie, for that. KF4 Delta Echo Whiskey. I was copying you. You're a little light on the radio with me this morning, but good to have you in there with us. And I got your answers there. Delta. So let's keep it moving here. Next up would be another visitor, I think, this morning. Kilo 2 Bravo Delta Echo, and that looks like it's Brian in North Carolina. You're up, sir. WB5DRI. Is anybody copying Brian there? Does anybody hear Kilo 2 Bravo Delta Echo?
Nothing direct and nothing on 2 STRs, Brian.
Okay, well, we'll give him a call at the bottom of the list here. But I'm sorry, if you're in there, Brian, I'm not hearing you right now, but maybe the conditions will improve, but we'll give you a call later on. Let me go to a station that I did hear in there very loud. That's Greg down in Florida. Kilo 9 Echo Mike Bravo, K9EMB. Greg, you're up for the net. WB5DRI. Is anybody hearing Greg? Well, I'm not copying Greg right now. I was hearing him pretty well earlier. So let's keep it moving here. And I'll give you a 73s, Greg, if you're still listening out there. I'm just not copying you right now. Let's go to, let's try another visitor this morning. That's KM4. No, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Let's go to KJ5 Papa Bravo Zulu. That's Bob in Texas here. KJ5 PBZ. If you're still in there, sir, you're up for our net. WB5DRI. Good morning. Is anybody hear Bob talking there? John, WA6LJS, could you try KJ5 PBZ for me?
what call? Which call again? Come again?
Yeah, Kilo Juliet 5, Papa Bravo Zulu.
Oh, okay. Kilo Juliet 5, Papa Bravo Zulu, KG5PTZ. You're up, WA6LJS relay. Now, nothing heard on 2 SPRs and locally, Brian.
Okay, thank you, John. Let's go ahead and try another visitor this morning. Let's try Kilo Mike 4, Foxtrot Tango Lima. That's Lyford out in Virginia. If you're still in there, you're up, sir.
KM4 FTL, you're up. WA6LJS relay. Nothing heard here, Bryce.
Okay, well, thank you for that, John. Let's keep it moving then. I want to recognize some of the folks that are out there listening. We have Norm in 9KJN up in Illinois. And, of course, James on his way down to Florida, KG5PTE there. James, hope you're having a good trip there and drive safe. And we'll talk to you the next time. But he's receive only, and also Ken in Arizona A7SX is receive only this morning as well. That is pretty much the bottom of the list as I have it. Did I miss any stations this morning on the list? Or do we have any additional last check-ins to the Air Force's Flyers Club net? This is WB5DRI. Please call now.
WB5DRI. WB5DRI. This is Whiskey 8 Charlie Juliet Whiskey. W8CJW.
I'm copying Whiskey Charlie. Is it Whiskey Charlie 0 something something? Come back again.
Whiskey 8 Charlie Juliet Whiskey. W8CJW.
Is it Whiskey 8 Charlie Victor Whiskey? Is that correct?
No, sir. It's W8CJW. Whiskey 8 Charlie Juliet Whiskey.
Okay, I think I got it. Is it Whiskey 8 Charlie Juliet Whiskey?
That's correct, sir. Sir, the name here is Larry, Alpha Romeo Yankee, and the number is 624. I don't get a chance to get in to talk to you guys very often.
Okay, Larry, well, good to have you back in there with us this morning, one of our members there. Whiskey 8 Charlie Juliet Whiskey. And what were your answers this morning, Larry, to the questions? WB5DRI.
Let's go with the rest of the gang at DD. Sounds correct to me. That's nothing new on this end, and we're in Florida, and we're finally getting some sun after a week of cold and nasty weather. Go ahead.
Okay, Larry, well, good to have you with us this morning. And thanks for checking in from Florida there, I think in Sebring. So very good. I hope I have that right. I think so. So good to have you with us this morning. And that looks like the bottom of the list as I have it here. Let me go ahead and give the answers to the questions. I think everybody got the question correct. It's kind of a record. I guess it was a pretty good softball question this morning, but I thought it would generate some good discussion, and I think it did. The first question was, what was the Air Force fighter, the U.S. Air Force fighter that shot down the most enemy fighters in the Korean War? It was, of course, Delta, the North American F-86 Sabre jet. and who was the greatest U.S. ace of the Korean War. And I mentioned Alpha was Major James Robinson Risner, Bravo was Lieutenant James F. Lowe, Charlie was Major James Jabara, and Delta was Captain Joseph McConnell Jr. The answer was Delta, of course, Captain Joseph C. McConnell Jr., and Major Risner shot down 8 MiG-15s using his F-86. Lieutenant Lowe shot down 9 MiG-15s from his F-86. Major James Jabara shot down 15 MiG-15s from his F-86. He was a triple ace, as was Captain Joseph C. McConnell Jr., who actually shot down 16 MiG-15s, one more. So he was the top ace of the Korean War, and it's kind of interesting. He shot down his first MiG-15 on January 14th, 1953. And a little more than a month, he had shot down his fifth MiG-15 victory, becoming an ace. On the day he shot down his eighth MiG, his F-86 was shot up by enemy aircraft fire, and he was forced to bail out over the Yellow Sea west of Korea over enemy-controlled waters. And fortunately, one of our helicopters rescued him after just a couple of minutes in cold water. And the next day, he was back in combat and shot down his ninth MiG-15. By the end of April of 53, he had scored his 10th victory to become a double ace. And then he scored his last victories on May the 18th of 1953. That morning, McConnell shot down 2 MiG-15s in a furious air battle and became a triple ace with 15 kills. And then on another mission that afternoon, he shot down his 16th and final MiG-15. And, of course, sadly, McConnell was killed on August the 25th, 1954, when he crashed while testing an F-86H at Edwards Air Force Base, California. Anyway, hope everybody enjoyed the questions this morning. Kind of softball, but it did generate some interesting discussion about the Korean War, I think, and enjoyed doing the net this morning. I hope everybody else out there also enjoyed it. We've got time for a quick 73 round. Let's go ahead and see who's still out there. It looks like Don, I think, is still with us. K0ZNC, if you can bring him in, Bob, I'd appreciate it. WB5DRI.
Well, Rocal, K1BOB operating remote, and Don, you're up for the final.
Thank you, Bob. And thank you, Rob, for getting me on the air, getting that. And I understand what you're doing and stuff there. Thank you for getting me on DCF this morning, Brian. Very good. I don't know if you're still there. I'm sure you let the air challenge, okay. I'm getting better anyway, but hope that continues. Anything else? No question. And we'll see Saturday. We'll see you all on Monday. We'll church tomorrow. So 73, everybody have a good one. Back to you, Brian, WB5DRI, K1BOB, K0ZNC. Here's Tennessee. So take care. Have a good weekend.
K1BOB remote, back to net control.
Okay, Don, K0ZNC, WB5DRI. Well, and have a great weekend there, Don, and thanks for joining us this morning. 73 is to you, sir. And Bob, thanks for bringing him in on Dale's radio. That was the best transmission from him this morning so far. So It's sure working nice right now. Anyway, I did want to recognize some shortwave listeners out there. Joel Price, I guess, and his XYL, Carolyn, there, who are listening to our net this morning. Give them a 73s and a wave of the hand as well. And we look forward to you getting your license, Joel, so you can join us on the net here. Let's see. Break. Let's go back. Looks like we're back to our net logger. Lee, thanks for all the help this morning with net logger. I think I'm losing my voice here. N5BE, you're up for the net, sir. WB5DRI, 73 round.
WB5DRI N5BE. In early 1984, I had the opportunity to go to China, supporting some helicopter operations for offshore oil. And at lunchtime, instead of going into town for lunch, I'd go jog around the helipad and around rice paddies. So one day, Conrad Ha, the PLA guy that was in charge of the facility, was standing on the steps with his interpreter, and he waved me over. So I went up to him. I said, good morning, Conrad Ha. And he says, the interpreter says, Conrad Ha wants to know why you run in circles. So I told him, I said, wow, I run in circles to be healthy, and yada, yada. And so the interpreter interprets that. Conrad Ha spoke perfect English, by the way. So then he says to me, we have a distinguished visitor, and Conrad Ha wants to know if you'd like to be introduced to him. The Minister of Defense of North Korea is visiting us today. So I said, yeah, I noticed all the extra security. Tell Comrade Ha that I appreciate the opportunity, but the only North Koreans I ever saw were through binoculars and a rangefinder, and I'd like to keep it that way. And he waves off the interpreter, and in perfect English he said, Mr. Lee, I always enjoy your sense of humor. So I don't think they were going to let me see him. I think they were just playing with me. That's a true story. WB5DRI N5BE.
N5BE, WB5DRI. Well, I'm still laughing here, Lee. That's pretty funny. You have some great stories. Yeah, I don't think he would want to translate that word for word. I don't know if the guy would. The guy might have understood it. I don't know. But, yeah, it's a great story. Anyway, 73 to you, Lee. And thanks again for all you do with the net logger and also for the questions that you provide quite often to our net. I kind of modeled my question a little bit after yours this morning, some of yours. So anyway, 73 to you, Lee. Have a great day there in Arlington. Let's keep it moving here. Next up would be we're back to Chris in Bowling Green. KS5KY. You're up for the 73 round, Chris. WB5DRI.
Check in. WB5DRI, KS5KY. All right, Brian, well, appreciate it. I'm back on the 450D this time around. Just kind of another thing, there's a airfield in Wichita also named after James Jabara, so I was familiar with that name as well. I heard a check in right before I keyed up, so I'll let you have that and let you get through the list here. Catch everybody on Echo Link. KS5KY, back to net.
Okay, real fine, Chris. Well, 73 is to you, and you did come up almost to an S9 that time. You're actually stronger now. I don't know if the conditions have just improved or what. I know you switched radios there. Said you were on the 450D now, but you're up to almost a 9. So good to hear you this morning, and have a great day there in Bowling Green. 73 is to you, and there was a check-in. Who's the check-in? Come now, WB5DRI.
Victor Sierra Kilo, K4 Victor Sierra Kilo. I guess is this the Air Force Flyers Club on this?
Yeah, this is the Air Force's Flyers Club net.
Okay, I just came in the middle of it, didn't know who it was. So this is Jim in Palm Bay, Florida. Jim in Palm Bay, Florida. I have checked in the past a few times. I was Air Force 1950 to 1954. I was stationed in Saudi Arabia, Dahran Field, and I've never met anybody else that has ever been to Dahran. Over.
Okay, Jim, well, good to have you with us this morning, and thank you for your service there from 50 to 54. And we're copying you pretty well here from Palm Bay, Florida this morning here in San Antonio. I didn't get a S-meter reading there, but you got a good strong signal. Good to have you with us there. We're just on our 73 round, but please do come back and join us again on the net whenever you can there. But good to have you with us this morning. And what was your question there? I didn't quite get your question there. K4 Victor Sierra Kilo WB5DRI.
Well, I was just saying that I was stationed in Dahran, Saudi Arabia, and I've never met anybody else that's ever been to Dahran for some reason. Over.
Oh, okay. Saudi Arabia. Dahran, I believe you said Saudi Arabia. Yeah, I haven't met too many. I haven't met anybody that's ever been stationed there either. Jim, that's an interesting location to have been stationed there. So very good on that. What were you doing down there for the Air Force?
Well, I was in the Air Police, and I've always had a joke. I says when I first went into the service, the Wright brothers taught me how to fly. That's how old I am.
Okay, all right, real fine, Jim. Well, good to have you with us there, and having been in the Air Police. Yeah, actually, my wife's dad was an air police in later security police, I guess. He was part of actually Patton's Guard at one time during World War II, at the end of World War II, and then he ended up being the NCOIC of the security police at Kadena. When I was in high school, my wife and I were both in high school in Okinawa in the early 60s. So anyway, good to have you with us this morning, Jim, and do come back and join us again whenever you can there. 73 is to you, sir. Break with K4 VSK. Let's go to our next station here this morning, K2SJP. Back to you, Bob. You're up for the 73 round, WB5DRI.
WB5DRI, K2SJP. Thank you for running the net, Brian. Did a great job, and having a good number of check-ins this morning. See you guys over on Echo Link. I am following James. He came off the 249, and is traveling east right now. So we're watching you, James, and maybe you'll be over on Echo Link. 73s, everybody. Have a good day. WB5DRI, K2SJP.
Okay, Bob, very good. K2SJP, WB5DRI. Well, 73 is to you for now, Bob, and we'll talk to you some more on Echo Link. Bob mentioned our Echo Link conference node. We do have a conference node over there that's Alpha Foxtrot Charlie. And if you have Echo Link, you're welcome to join us over there after this 20-meter net concludes. Let's see. Break with K2SJP. Let's go back out to Hamul, to John. Thanks for all your help this morning, John. You're up for the 73 round, WA6LJS, WB5DRI.
Okay, Brian. WB5DRI, WA6LJS. Great net this morning. I'm hearing everybody locally, and you're booming in here. Good signal, 15 over as usual. And a good question this morning. Anyway, 73, I'll be over to Echo Link in a few minutes, and then we'll see where we do there. WB5DRI, WA6LJS.
Okay, 73s for now, John, and we'll talk to you some more on Echolink. WA6LJS, WB5DRI, break with you. Let's go to our commander, K1BOB, up in Idaho. You're up, Bob, for the 73 round, WB5DRI.
WB5DRI, K1BOB, operating remote, and boy, you came way up. The short skip's good now, Dale's radio. I couldn't hear you most of the net, but lately you just blew in there. You're S9 plus, Brian. So I know what Dale means when he says that. He can hear you so good. At least I'm still having a problem with Lee. He must be closer. But anyway, the short skip picked up Steve out in San Diego. He's very strong. He's only on low power, too. So he's working things out with his clipboard lady, as he says. Very interesting question. Thank you for all the feedback. Yeah, there were a lot of aces, weren't there? Then, I'll have to find the number of MiGs that were shot down on that dealie. It was like fishing in a pool. Let's see. Oh, very good. You married your childhood sweetheart or a high school sweetheart. Isn't that something? Good for that, and good for giving her dad's background. That pulls it all together with you guys. Very, very interesting. So thanks for all that, Brian. That was a handful, and I certainly enjoyed it. Back to you, K1BOB. Thank you very much for running a fantastic net with a lot of people.
Yeah, thank you for that, Bob, K1BOB, WB5DRI. Yeah, actually, it's kind of interesting. Her dad, well, she was living at Kadena at the time. Actually, her dad was the NCOIC of the security police at Kadena, and my dad was a pilot. Actually, he was ops officer and then commander of C-130 squadron at Naha, actually. So we lived at Naha. But we went to school, my wife and I went to school together in high school there at Kubasaki High School on Okinawa. That's where we graduated from high school together. So anyway, yeah, it's interesting. Well, it's probably not interesting to everybody else, but it is kind of unusual, I guess. But anyway, thanks for that, Bob, and we'll talk to you some more on Echolink. Break with you. Let's go back to Joe out in Las Cruces, W5ABI. You're up, sir, WB5DRI.
WB5DRI and the Flyers, W5ABI. Good net. Good question, Brian. Thanks for running it, and you have a good day. WB5DRI, W5ABI.
Okay, thank you, Joe, and you have a good day there in Las Cruces, and have a nice weekend, and stay on the warm side of the door there. Maybe it'll be a little bit warmer for you there as well. Break with W5ABI. Let's go to our live stream guy, K4YDB. Charlie, you're up for the 73 round, WB5DRI. Okay, 73 to you, Charlie, and thanks again for your live stream there. Break with K4YDB. Let's go to Justin out in Ogden, Utah, KB7LAK. Justin, you're up for the 73 round, WB5DRI.
Okay, fine, business, Brian. The net today. Conditions have just gotten better. Hope everybody's having a great day, and love Kadena. Spent a lot of time in Kadena in RC-135. It's changed quite a bit from where we are. Beautiful, beautiful area. Man, it's time to go back there. All right, 73's off. Thanks for calling us. 47 LAK, back to you.
Okay, Justin. Well, you're welcome. You have a great day. 73 to you, sir. Break with KB7LAK. Let's go back to Ray in New Jersey. WB2JJO. Ray, you're up for the 73 round. WB5DRI.
WB5DRI from WB2JJO. Well, I'll tell you what, Brian, I've been listening to you on the electric radio, and you've been doing very good your whole entire net. So hopefully you can hear me on your electric radio. But
but you're sure doing a good job on the SDRs. Fantastic question as usual, and I learned a lot today, and I'm kind of glad I followed the rhythm. At least I got 100%. Hi. So with that there, I'm going to try to get on Echolink. I couldn't do it yesterday for some reason. It wouldn't let me on, but I'm going to see if I can get on Echolink tonight. Today, just a little bit. So with that there, 7-3, sir, and we'll talk to you further on our log. WB5DRI, WB2JJO, 7-3, one off.
Okay, Ray. WB2JJO, WB5DRI. Well, 73 to you, Ray, and thanks for joining us this morning. Sounding good there from New Jersey. Break with you. Let's go to KF4 Delta Echo Whiskey. That's Ron up in Tennessee near Chattanooga. KF4 DEW. You're up for the 73 round, WB5DRI. John, are you hearing him? WA6LJF?
No, I didn't hear anything. What is it, KE4 EDW?
Kilo Foxtrot 4 Delta Echo Whiskey.
Yeah, Kilo Foxtrot 4 Delta Echo Whiskey. You're up for 73 round, WA6LJS relay. Quiet on 2 SDRs and locally, Brian.
Okay, thank you, John. Let me try Larry down in Florida. See if you're still in there, Larry, for the 72 round. Whiskey 8, Charlie Juliet Whiskey, W8 CJW. You're up for the 73 round, Larry, WB5DRI.
WB5DRI on the group, W8 CJW. Very good, Brian. Decent coffee today for some reason. Otherwise, most of the time I just can't get into it. But today was actually decent. So we'll say 73s on this one, and we'll look for you guys again. Enjoy the day. WB5DRI. This is W8 CJW. 73s, my friend.
Okay, Larry. W8CJW, WB5DRI. Well, thanks for joining us this morning, Larry. It's good to have you back in there with us this morning. So have a great weekend. 73s to you, sir. That is the bottom of the list as I have it. Do we have any very last-minute check-ins before I close this thing down? This is WB5DRI. Please call now.
I forgot the 7GJL.
Oh, I'm sorry, Carl. How did I do that? I see that I have. Lee's got you highlighted here on NetLogger. Sorry about that. I don't know how I did that. KF7 GJO. Nobody's ever forgotten somebody, have they? WB5DRI. You're up for the 73 round, Carl. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Oh, roger that, Brian. So, hey, I can excuse that. You know, I never made a mistake. Thought I did once, but I was wrong. Anyway, fantastic net this morning, buddy. You did a good job on the questions, and you kept everything flowing. So, you have a fine day, and hey, we'll try this again tomorrow. WB5DRI, 47GJO.
Okay, Carl. Well, 73 to you, and sorry again about skipping over you there on the 73 round. I'd love to talk to you about and get your thoughts about the latest incident there at Reagan National, tragic accident there. But maybe we'll talk to you some more on NetLogger if you can, not on NetLogger, on Echolink this morning if you got time to get on there. Not sure. Anyway, 73s, Carl, have a great day, and thanks for joining us there. Break with KF7GJO. That is the bottom of the list as I have it. I think I'm going to go ahead and shut this thing down and switch over to Echolink. I want to thank all the participants this morning and all the relays. And big thank you to N5BE Lee for doing the NetLogger this morning, and to K4YDB for taking care of
his great live stream on YouTube. And thank you for all the participants and all the relays this morning. Everybody have a great day out there. 73s, God bless our troops, and God bless the USA. This is WB5DRI, now closing the Air Force's Flyers Club net and returning the frequency to normal amateur use. 73s, everybody.